we go. So those of you who aren't aware of who we are, we're a very aggressive exploration company going after Tier 1 precious and base metal discoveries in North and South America. Just for quantification, Tier 1 would classify as one of the mines on the planet that would rank in the top 20. These are the kind of mines that will make us the incredible returns that we look for as both shareholders and investors in any companies in the space. Today I come with a lot of optimism. We've had some really exciting good news in the last few weeks. And so these are some cautionary notes so I can share that a little bit unfiltered with you here today. As a management team, we've been doing this for 15 years together. We've raised over $650 million as needed. We've been very strategic with our financings. We found a mine, we built the mine, we sold a project during the exploration phase, and we came together to build Auryn with all the things we learned from those and create the best opportunities we could yet to date. We're able to go after Tier 1 discovery opportunities because we've hired the Newmont's Fulmer Global Exploration Team. These guys led some big discoveries within Newmont, including the former chief geologist, Antonio Ribas, who's actually on our board. We have one of the deepest technical teams in the business, and this is what allows us to go after these major Tier 1 swings. So what do we quantify as a Tier 1 swing? Well, in the gold part of our portfolio, Committee Bay, I'll give you some highlights of the drilling we did there this year. After $60 million, we think we finally unlocked the path towards high grade. Sombrero has truly been the whole world focus for us. Everyone's been talking about it from countless samples of copper and gold on surface. We're about to get a drill permit, which I'll give you some updates on, and I'll refresh the opportunities so you're aware of how big it is. Curibaya has taken us all by surprise, including Jay's comment of this morning and several analysts, because we've been sampling over 50 samples of silver, over 200 grams to 14 kilos silver, on one of the biggest mining trends in Peru, plus gold, plus copper, a very exciting project that's just coming to life. A reminder, we're in Nunavut with Committee Bay, Homestake Ridge, I'm not going to showcase in the short time I have here, but we do have an update from our summer program. That project is getting more targets to make it bigger, and there's some other work going on to show the true value of it in the new year. Going on to Committee Bay, it's a 300-kilometer long gold belt. We've talked about this extensively for 5 years. We have a 1.2 million ounce 8-gram deposit in the middle of the belt. We're next to Amaruq, which is the last major mine that's gone into production. It's being operated by Agnico Eagle. But no shortage of gold on this 300-kilometer trend, but also a lot of cover so you can't see the rocks. It's not easy. This year we drilled 7 holes. We drilled 30 meters at 0.67 grams per ton. If you move the decimal point over to 6.7 grams per ton, your discovery has started. We think we're very close. The image on the right would show that in the target zone that we think we're really close on where we should have been drilling. As a summary of what came out of this program, although it was our smallest program in 5 years and the last few million of a $60 million spend, we had the most successful outcome. We found the actual geophysical signal between our conductivity and our chargeability, basically the electrical and magnetic currents we put in the ground into the rocks we can't see. We found the key signal that's showing us where high grade is. We've drilled tens of meters of low grade across the belt. We've got no problem targeting gold, but the real money is going to be made when we find the high grade. We use machine learning at zero cost to us. It got us really close. It's a work in progress. We're going to take the learnings through the geophysical targeting, employ that, and develop some incredible targets next year. But let's talk about Peru. Peru is where all the excitement has happened. We describe Sombrero as one of the best projects we've seen in our careers pre-drilling. It's a lot more than one discovery that could exist here, and they're all world-class. Curibaya, as I mentioned, has taken the world by storm. You'll see why here shortly. Just incredible grades on Peru's other major belt, mining belt in Peru. Sombrero was originally a concept by a gentleman named Miguel Cardozo. The green rocks on the left indicate rocks that are covered by volcanics, and the rocks on the right in yellow are indicating rocks that are outcropping. Those are 6 of some of the largest mines in Peru. Las Bambas is the 10th largest copper mine in the world. We believe that the rocks that those mines are hosted in continue to the west. The big difference being we have copper gold versus being copper moly. So what we did as first movers, we went and screened 7,000 square kilometers. We sampled up and downstream sediments, and we put together a copper map and a gold map that you see on the right. Pink is obviously the higher grade. All of the work we've done to date has been where the blue stars in Sombrero, Maine. That's where we're about to get drill permits, but it's a place where we could find deposits extensively for the next 3 to 4 years. When you talk about a major mine, you talk about copper and gold, you got to think infrastructure. You get here with a paved road, you've got a power line that's mine power the government built on the property since we've been here. You got 2 nearby towns that are not impeded by any of our targets that we have incredible relationships with, and you're only at 3,900 meters elevation. with access to water, as well as every other infrastructure asset you would need to go build a major mine here. So Sombrero, Maine is where the most of the work has been done. For the brevity of the time, I'm just going to give you highlights to our projects. I encourage you to come to our website. But this horseshoe donut type figure is the skarn target. You can see our drill pads that we're actually permitting. What I want you to take away from this slide is there's 100 to 230 meters of 0.5 to 0.7% copper gold. If you took all of our samples to date, we average 0.6% copper gold equivalent. That's the same grade as Las Bambas. When you look for these things, they occur in donut shapes, an intrusion in the middle and a skarn surrounding it. We've taken the mine Tintaya, which was an incredible profitable mine that's still in production, and it's a hole in the ground, as you can see by the image, and we mirrored it. It's exactly analogous to our first targets we're going to drill. We have the copper gold on surface. There's some historical holes that have given us the signature to make us believe that we're going to see continuous mineralization like this. The only thing we don't know about is the final grade. But so far, we think it's going to be in the very economic factor. Looking at Neok, this is the next target we're going to get to. It's one of our strongest targets from surface geophysically. Multiple gram gold, multi% copper. You're on this world-class belt. It's the next one we drill sequentially after Sombrero, Maine. And then we move up to Good Lucky. Mother Nature gave us a free cross-section. Here's a skarn body. It goes down 400 meters. Those are mining adits halfway down the hill. If you look at the numbers we've sampled at random on surface, 0.5% to 4.2% copper, 0.3 to 5 gram gold. Those are spectacular grades. It does have depth potential. You're looking at scale. This would be the third major target we drill. The fourth one is Totora. It's a small bit of porphyry outcropping. You're looking at 0.2, 0.1 gold and copper in that outcropping with a very high-grade structure coming through it, which we think will host a lot of the mineralization. That's running 0.2 to 5 grams gold and 1 to 3% copper. I've just showed you 4 massive intrusions that could be each standalone major mines. We will drill them sequentially starting in February next year through the end of the year. While we're waiting on drill permits, we found something called Macha Makai. This is 72 square kilometers, the purple box in the lower left of this image, of the highest grade sampling we've done in stream sediments of the entire 7,000 square kilometers. No one's ever been here before. No one's ever sampled this. This is the pipeline of world-class discoveries that we think we can make in Sombrero going forward. The permitting, that's arduous in Peru. We filed our permits in June. We've received our archaeological permit. We're about to receive something called a DIA. This involves all 5 ministers. It's the most comprehensive part of the process. We expect to have that announced that we've received the DIA this month. So it gives us the next 2 weeks. That will be a tremendous catalyst for this going forward because the last phase, the social phase, which we've ensured by tons of community work, will happen in the next 2.5 months after the DIA is received, which gives us a February start date of drilling, which is on schedule. Curibaya is on the other trend of the largest mines in Peru. Arguably, some are bigger than Las Bambas, Cerro Verde, Quellaveco, Tocopala. I'm just showing you the highlights of the silver, gold, and copper. I want you to take away from these slides that it's very widespread. Don't try and read the grades on this slide, but have a look at them here. There's from 1 to 55 silver grades from 200 to 14 kilos silver. Again, it's over 6 square kilometers. 1 to 23 gram gold over 6 square kilometers, and some high-grade copper structures coming into the property. These are the highest grades we've seen in 20 years of doing this, pre-drilling, not knowing what it means yet, but on one of the world's biggest prolific mining trends. It's a spectacular start to this project, and we think it will compete with the excitement of Sombrero in the near future as we get in the targeting state. Our treasury, we have 95 million shares out. We have $3.5 million as of September. That money's going to run out. We've bridged ourselves. We financed ourselves this year because, like all financings we do, we're extremely strategic. We're carrying a $175 million market cap as I stand here. We have tons of financing options to take. The only promise I make to you, it's going to be a very strategic investor that will come with an incredible addition to some of the best shareholders in the world that currently own our shares. So there's no shortage of money available. We'll do something between now and when we drill. We're not looking for $40 million. 10 or $12 million will do it, unless it's a substantial strategic investor that we can do at a really good terms. No shortage of coverage. The share price has been incredible the first half of the year. We're still up 43% year to date. The last move you see to the upside has been driven by Curibaya results, as well as getting much closer to drill permits. We think once our DIA is announced, that's going to be the main catalyst that drives us into that first drill program. So what are the catalysts that's going to make the share price perform over the next 6 months? Receiving the DIA, which is within the next 2 weeks, that's what we anticipate, is going to be substantial. Drilling Sombrero in Q1. Curibaya is something we can drill by the end of next year. It's a lot easier to permit because of the different part of Peru that it's in. We spent the last 18 months identifying tier 1 discovery opportunities in Peru. We're going to spend the next 24 months drilling them, and that's where we're going to have a chance to make the big returns we've talked about for the last 5 years. Thank you very much.